Wow, guys, a lot to talk about. Listen, thank you for coming to my show. I really appreciate having you guys here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, June 25th, 2019. Let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here and look at what's going on. You know, just like that. Bang! Just like that. Bitcoin's made a transformation from being a speculative investment to a safe haven asset. And the world's looking for safe havens, folks. I mean, really, really bad. World politics right now, it says here in this article, they're dashing for the bunkers. This run for the hills. London, gold, Switzerland, France, Japan, Japanese yen, top-rated government bonds, and even Bitcoin. Investors have dashed for safe haven assets and alternative assets this week as anxiety grows. Well, they should be anxious. The Middle East is just, I mean, it's just a hot mess. How much can well, the way can I describe it? There's trade wars going on that are probably not going to get resolved. Negative interest rates, negative yield, the yield curve inversion. Look, you see how investors are? This picture shows it exactly like it is right now. Just look, can you see the worry on this man's face? The whole world is worried right now. We all sense that we're on the brink of something huge. A calamity like we've never faced since the 1929 great stock market crash. And you know what? Bitcoin's going to capitalize off of this. Like no other asset. Gold and silver's going to capitalize too, but not like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to capitalize off of this. This could be devastating, the fact that Bitcoin's capitalizing off of this. We have a financial system that's in place. It's been run since way back in 1971 when Nixon took us off the gold standard. And this whole financial system out there just basically runs on hot gas. These fiat currencies that have been mismanaged. This is just a tinderbox. This is a barn full of hay, is what this is. For the fiat monetary system to disappear suddenly overnight and leave a new monetary system that's all run off of blockchain. No situations ever existed like this before, and these world situations are pushing us toward the brink. Although world stocks and bonds remain near record highs thanks to the promise of ever more central bank easing, the sudden dash for the financial bunkers shows not all is as calm as cursory readings of the headline indexes suggest. Fears of global trade wars have been simmering over the years, but the latest standoff between Washington and Beijing may come to a head at the G20 summit in Japan this weekend. New U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports could kick in next month if there's no progress between the two sides. This is just like an oh my god moment. You know, and then it goes on to talk about military tensions here. And we all know about that. How that could just blow up in our face. Trade and geopolitical worries are compounding investors' concerns about a looming global economic downturn and whether central banks and easing policies could quickly enough offset it. Bonds with negative yields. This is what we could be looking at coming. We could be going below the zero boundary this time and into actual negative territory. And one is called ZERP and the other one is called NERP. ZERP is zero interest rate policy and NERP is negative interest rate policy. Both are going to be the norm for this world that we're moving into. In these kind of circumstances, you know, the bond markets could actually on Earth actually explode. Everything's turning topsy-turvy. Bitcoin I can't believe it. Honest to gosh, I can't believe it how quick Bitcoin went from being just a speculative investment. During the last rush up to $20,000, it was just a speculative investment. Suddenly, it's becoming a safe haven asset, better than gold, according to the people who out there who are getting involved in it. You know, everything in our entire world, everything you see around you, everything you touch, everything you taste, everything you feel, everything that your whole life revolves around your thinking, your mind, you know? And so Bitcoin price is all relative to your way of thinking. What's a cheap Bitcoin? What's an expensive Bitcoin? Well, there was a time when a $60 Bitcoin was an expensive Bitcoin. You know, and it's all in your head. How high can Bitcoin go? Well, during a worldwide hyperinflation, which we've never experienced before. Always when we have hyperinflations, there's always another currency or asset class to reach out to. And I guess, generally it's the US dollar they reach out to during a hyperinflation, because it's the worldwide de facto currency of the world. Or they reach out to gold. This time they got something new to reach out to. The whole world goes into a hyperinflation. They're all going to reach out and grab a hold of the life raft. The life raft being Bitcoin. What an amazing situation. What an amazing time to be alive in this world. So this is what we're looking at here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin today and let's see what she's doing. You know, 11,273. She's been holding pretty steady over the course, being as she moved up to this really fast. Generally, typically, and it's what I expect in markets, when an item moves up very quickly into a new price range where people haven't got their head around it yet, they're like, you know, like say if silver were to suddenly go up to $40 an ounce, like in 2 days, you know, people wouldn't have their head around it. Generally, there's a price drop-off. Generally, what you can expect, a correction, what they call a correction. The fact that Bitcoin has been surging up to these new price levels with no price corrections tells me that more than likely there's an awful lot of room left in this rally. I mean massive room left to the upside. You know, and every time it moves up to a new stage, like right now, it's just went up with no price correction. There's no real price correction here. It's 11,273. People have to get their head around this new price. Because wasn't it just a month or two ago? It was like 3,800 or something, or 3,300, and now it's 11,273. People have to get their head around it. But very soon they get their head around it and it's ready for another surge up. And then they consider $11,200 Bitcoin cheap when it goes up to $14,000. And then when it goes up to $18,000, they consider $14,000 Bitcoin cheap. You see what I mean? It's just all in the way of thinking. There's no limit. There's no upper limit to how high Bitcoin can go. Million, 5 million, 10 million. If the currencies are hyperinflating, you know. But I mean, on the other end of that coin, if you're a person who's all into these currencies and they're hyperinflating, there's no end to how low they can go. Well, actually there is. Well, like I say, there's no limit to how high Bitcoin can go, but there is an end to how low the fiat currencies can go, and that is zero. Absolute zero. They can actually go down to absolute zero, but that's the limit. They can't go any lower than zero. 0 plus 0 equals 0. So now let's take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations for today. You know, and we're looking at Bitcoin dominance getting extremely high. You know, here's what way I see it. I see Bitcoin dominance actually going higher. I could see it going as high as 80%. Quite seriously. But then it's going to start to drop again. You know, this is a Bitcoin dominance bubble right now. Because Bitcoin is the coin. But once Bitcoin has plowed the field, basically, you know, has cut the furrow into the field and, you know, plowed that furrow so that all the other coins can follow, then the Bitcoin dominance will start to drop back down again. I'm expecting the Bitcoin dominance to move up to 80% maximum, and then over a course of about 5 years, I'm expecting it to go back down to around 20%. But by the time Bitcoin dominance gets at 20%, Bitcoin market cap will exceed the market cap of all the coins right now by many multiples. So that tells you how big I'm expecting this entire coin market cap to get. Trillions and trillions and trillions. This is where all the world's wealth is going to be stored. It's in cryptocurrencies. And these new coins coming out like Libra or whatever, you know, this is nothing more than government fiat again. It's government's answer, but it's an answer that, I mean, ultimately, you know, I can see if Libra's going to survive, Libra's going to have to change being backed by government fiat, ultimately in the end, somewhere down the road. They're going to have to change being backed by these basket of fiat currencies that they want to be marked to right now. They'll have to change over, and they'll have to drop a lot of these government fiat currencies, and they'll have to switch over to gold, silver, and crypto. Bitcoin. Ultimately in the end. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this report, and we'll catch you again very soon. Bye-bye.